Flame Tarot. My name is Amber. Thank you so much for being here with me. I am so happy to have you. Now this is going to be an all signs reading for the new moon solar eclipse happening in Libra at 10 degrees on October 2nd, 2024. Now this will be the last eclipse we'll see in Libra for the next 9 years. We won't have another one until 2033, making this solar eclipse a very special one. Now there's a couple of other really cool things happening around this solar eclipse, and that would be the conjunction of both Black Moon Lilith and Mercury. So we're going to have the sun and the moon conjunct the Black Moon Lilith and Mercury. It's a lot. We'll get into it. But first, as we know, the new moons are always about new beginnings. It's a fresh start, a perfect time for setting an intention. But a solar eclipse is a supercharged new moon, offering greater benefits, transformationally speaking. Now, Libra sits in the 7th house on the zodiac wheel, which is all about relationships, particularly romantic ones, but it can just be very deep relationships, soulmate connections. So with a solar eclipse happening in the house of relationships, this is a sudden transformation around our relationships, around how we harmonize within our relationships, bring harmony, peace, and balance within our relationships. Now, solar eclipses have long been viewed as a bad omen or a time to hide away from them and stay indoors. And this is because the sun represents clarity, consciousness, joy, happiness, enlightenment, and the moon represents fears, illusions, chaos, confusion, and the deep subconscious. So when the moon comes along and blocks the light of the sun, this can represent our fears and illusions overcoming our joy and enlightenment. But the cool thing about a solar eclipse is that it always has the ring of fire around it, the illumination around the darkness, and this symbolizes that light will always find a way to shine through. And through our deep subconscious and going in and doing our shadow work, we can find the light within the darkness. The solar eclipse will also be conjuncting the Black Moon Lilith and Mercury at 10 degrees of Libra. Now, the Black Moon Lilith represents all those darker aspects of ourselves, the sides of ourselves that we've been taught to stuff down, hide away, and not express. She represents personal power, feminine power, healthy expression of anger, exploration of sexual energy, and independence. And then Mercury is the winged god, the god of communication, and is associated with the element of air, which is all about thought. So putting this all together, Mercury will give us the clarity of thought to think about how we perceive our relationships and try to strategize on how to find more balance and harmony and peace within those relationships. And then Lilith will offer the confidence that we need and the personal power in order to express ourselves. And then the new moon solar eclipse is a supercharged new beginning. So this is a great opportunity for us to transform our relationships and find more peace, balance, and harmony within them. I just split the deck. There's the solar eclipse card. I was just about to talk about the solar eclipse a little bit. And Mars, there's Mars. I was just about to talk about Mars. Mars is going to be squaring the solar eclipse. Mars in Cancer. And Cancer is, you know, the 4th house, the house of family and, you know, your emotional joy, your emotional fulfillment in life. So Mars, you know, is a very action-oriented planet. It's very, it butts heads with Cancer a little bit. And so this might bring up a little bit of challenge. It might be hard for us to break free of habits, especially toxic ones within our relationships. So keep that in mind. And then the solar eclipse is also going to be conjuncting the South Node. And the South Node is our past, where we've come from. So this will be, it might be a little hard to release the past, to release what you've experienced within that relationship. If you have any resentment, that kind of stuff, it might be a little bit challenging in order to release that. But I feel like a big message of the solar eclipse with Mercury is to change how we perceive the past, how we perceive what we've experienced in our relationships, and learn to let those things go. Notice where we've been stuck and held back because of our past, and releasing those old thought patterns, those old ways of thinking. All right, Spirit, we're here to get an energy reading for the new moon solar eclipse in Libra. What can you tell us about the new moon solar eclipse, please, Spirit? What can you tell us about the new moon solar eclipse, please? Let's get 2 more shuffles. That's 1. And 2. That one goes on the bottom. All right, Spirit, 3 base cards, please. Pluto. There's Pluto. Transformation, death and rebirth. Aquarius, hopes, desires, and wishes. And Paulus, the warrior woman, the warrior queen. Now, I find it really interesting that Spirit is wanting to talk about the Pluto in Aquarius. Now, Pluto retrograde is still in Capricorn, but will be entering Aquarius here shortly. Now, Pluto will go direct in Capricorn on October 11th and make its way back to Aquarius, which I think it's going to be entering Aquarius again in January. I'm going to have to double check that. But I find it interesting that Spirit is wanting to talk about the Pluto in Aquarius. This is going to be a really big deal. Pluto will be in Aquarius for the next 20 years. And Pluto is the planet of death, rebirth, transformation, the phoenix rising from the ashes. It's dark and often uncomfortable, but it'll provide such an amazing opportunity for transformation. Transformation around our hopes, desires, dreams, and wishes with Aquarius here. Yes. Aquarius. Aquarius sits in the 11th house on the zodiac wheel, which is all about relationships. Not like the 7th house, like Libra. This is more like friendships and community. It also represents your hopes, desires, dreams, and wishes. Your social life. But Aquarius's ruling planet is Uranus, and Uranus is all about astronomy, astrology, aviation, science, technology. It's freedom and experimentation, and Pluto is transformation. So I feel like we've got a lot of big changes coming up in our near future around, you know, our modern society, around our community. There's going to be a lot of social experimentation, I feel, happening with the Pluto in Aquarius. And it's going to be really good. Things are going to change really fast, and the way people see each other and the community will be changing, transforming. It might be painful, it might be uncomfortable. I have a good feeling it probably will be as we go through some learning lessons as a collective. But it's going to be really good. And then we've got Paulus here, the warrior woman, the warrior queen. Paulus was Athena's friend, and Athena taught her how to be a warrior. Paulus is associated with Libra as well. Paulus is associated with Libra, Leo, and there's one other. Let's look it up. I opened right up to the 7th house. That's Libra. Libra. I love Libra. I love Libra. Balance, harmony, reciprocity, love. Libra's planet is Venus. Oh, Libra's planet is Venus, and Venus is sitting in Scorpio right now too. And Scorpio's planet is Pluto. So we've got a lot of Libra and Scorpio energy coming out in the base read here too. Okay, Paulus, where are you? We're almost there. Here we go. Paulus. Yes, Leo, Libra, and Aquarius. How could I forget? We've got Aquarius right there. Paulus, associated with Leo, Libra, and Aquarius. Paulus is the warrior queen, integrating active and receptive principles. It is the creative outlet and container of wisdom. The arts, healing, and political activism are all facets of its energy. It is the sword of intellect and justice, and the nurturing protector. The bright side is insight, courage, creativity, wisdom, perception, and activism. So this is a very, it says here that it integrates both the active and receptive principles, which is coming out in this solar eclipse as well. That's light and dark, active and receptive. That's polarity, duality, the sun and the moon. Yeah, Spirit is just reiterating everything we talked about in the intro. There's transformation. There's an opportunity for transformation within our community, within our relationships. And we have Paulus here, which feels a lot like Lilith. It's a feminine warrior, a warrior queen, with both active and receptive principles. All right, Aries, let's get started. Spirit, we're here to get an energy reading for the sign of Aries, please. How is this solar eclipse in Libra going to be affecting the Aries collective, and what should they be focusing on at this time to improve their relationships? What can the Aries collective be focusing on at this time in order to improve their relationships? Last shuffle. Three cards for Aries, please. The Nine of Cups, a wish fulfillment, Aries. The Eight of Cups, okay. And the Eight of Swords. Wow. Okay. It looks to me, Aries, like you're having to walk away from a wish fulfillment. Something you thought was going to be a wish fulfillment is maybe not turning out to be so much. The Nine of Cups is the card of wishes. It's about letting go of comfort to go forward and search for something new. It's deeper pleasure. You can see on this card there's a figure jumping off of a cliff into the water here. That takes a lot of bravery. That takes a lot of bravery. It takes a lot to push somebody over the edge like that. And I feel like you've been pushed over the edge, Aries. Like something has just pushed you over the edge and now you're energetically moving away from something. Whether this is a relationship with a person, a relationship with a job, a relationship with a group of people. It could be any kind of relationship. This whole solar eclipse is all about either improving a relationship or learning when they're not fulfilling your greatest and highest good. You know, conjuncting the South Node. The South Node is our past, but it's somewhere where we can get stuck. We can get stuck in the past. And this card here is about moving forward and seeking something new. Letting go of comfort. That's what it says right down here at the bottom. Let go of comfort to move forward and seek something new, deeper pleasure. And then we've got the Eight of Cups here, which is the card of walking away, moving away from something. Time to move on. Inner reflection. You know, you might be really, with Mercury and the South Node here, you might be reminiscing about your past and where you've come from. And that's good. That's a good place to be in because you'll learn things by going in there, by going into your thoughts. But don't let it trap you with the Eight of Swords here. Don't get stuck in those thoughts for fear of the future, for fear of uncertainty. The Eight of Swords is about being trapped in your mind. It's a feeling of oppression, confusion, and manipulation. It's the feeling of, it feels like you have no options, like there's no way out, like you're stuck. But it's all in your mind. You know, in the traditional Rider-Waite, there's the woman standing amidst the swords with a blindfold on, but it's loose. She's got ropes around her wrists, but they're untied. It's a perception of being stuck. And what Spirit is saying here, Aries, is you're not stuck. Don't let your mind put limitations on what you can do with your life, where you can go. Let's get one more card out of the Moonology deck. Letting go of comfort to move forward, and then the Eight of Cups moving forward to the Eight of Swords. Yeah, Aries, I feel like you might flip-flop in your mind quite a bit, where you feel, you know, really optimistic and hopeful, and you're seeing all the opportunity around you, but then a thought comes into your mind and is like, well, that's not possible. It's illogical for me to think this way. But Spirit is saying it is not. Dream big, Aries. Dream big. You know, emancipate yourself from mental slavery. That is the quote I hear in my head with the Eight of Swords here. Emancipate yourself from mental slavery. Where there is a will, there is a way, Aries. And you sit in the first house. You are a pioneer. You are a pioneer. You go where others have never gone before. That's in your nature. Your planet is Mars, the god of action. God of action. You can do it, Aries. You can do it. All right, let's get one final card for the Aries Collective, please. One final card. What other words of advice or wisdom do you have for the Aries Collective, Spirit? What else for Aries? Dark side of the moon, mystery. What was I saying? This is where you get trapped. The feeling of uncertainty, you know? You want things to be predictable, but unfortunately they never are. We can't fully see the future. We can do an energetic weather report and see, well, it might be cloudy tomorrow, but a gust of wind could come in and blow those clouds. We're always in a state of uncertainty. But the trust and faith in the universe that wherever it pulls you and guides you is where you are meant to be, where you are meant to go. There's a reason why things happen in our life, and the Spirit always has a good reason. Spirit always knows the quickest path to get us to where we want to be. Spirit always knows. It might feel like a detour in the moment, but it's not. Spirit knows the quickest way to get you to where you want to be. The dark side of the moon, mystery. And that's what we see during a solar eclipse, Aries. The dark side of the moon. Let's read it out of the book. Let's read it. I was gonna skip reading it out of the book, but I just have to. Let's read it. I feel like it's gonna have some really good things to talk about in there. Okay, dark side of the moon, mystery. Number 32. Drawing this card suggests that the way forward is not yet brightly lit, so to speak. There is mystery surrounding your question. You probably already sense that. It could be that someone isn't being entirely upfront with you. Don't be alarmed. It may simply be that whoever this question involves doesn't yet feel fully ready to show you all their cards. Or perhaps the situation you're inquiring about hasn't yet fully evolved into its final state. And at this point, it's just impossible to know the answer to your question. The best thing to do right now is to work with what you do know and surrender the need to know everything. On the one hand, it could be that the answer to your question is shrouded in darkness because there's some foul play happening. On the other, it could be that you just don't need to know more right now. At least, not yet. Stay optimistic now, rather than focusing on any fears you have around your situation. Additional meanings. You have free will. Some things are better left unsaid. Trust the universe and see what happens. Face any fears around your question and see your glass as half full. The dark side of the moon is a super mysterious thing. Agreed? We never see it from here on Earth because of the way the moon turns. We know it's there and we know it's unknowable. This only makes us more inquisitive about its mystery. Yeah, Aries. Don't get trapped in your head. Don't get trapped in negative thinking. I feel like that's exactly what Spirit is saying here. This is a turning point for you in your life. It's clear that it's a turning point and you're energetically moving away from something in your life. Some kind of relationship. Could be with an entity, a person. You take it how it resonates, but you're energetically moving away from something here. But don't let yourself get stuck in your thoughts with a negative thinking spiral. Don't do that. Embrace the uncertainty and the mystery around your situation and know that Spirit has a perfect plan. All right, Aries, I hope you have a beautiful solar eclipse in Libra, and we'll see you next time. Taurus, welcome into your new moon solar eclipse in Libra reading. Let's get started. All right, Spirit, we're here to get an energy reading for the sign of Taurus, please. How is the new moon solar eclipse going to be affecting the Taurus collective, and what can they be focusing on at this time in order to improve their relationships? What can the Taurus be focusing on at this time in order to improve their relationships, please? Last shuffle. All right, 3 cards for Taurus, please. The Knight of Pentacles. The Nine of Cups. This just came out in Aries' reading right before you. And the Page of Pentacles. Taurus, you are an earth sign, and we've got 2 cards of Pentacles here. Pentacles is the earth element associated with earth. I can see here, Taurus, that there's something, a wish fulfillment is coming in. A wish fulfillment is coming in, but it's coming in really, really slowly. If you look at the Knight of Pentacles, you can see a figure climbing up a ladder here, but it seems like the ladder is just infinite. Like you've been working really hard at something and trying to climb this ladder, trying to get yourself up out of a situation, trying to improve your situation and see things from a higher perspective. But this is happening really, really slowly. And with the Nine of Cups coming next, I mean, the Nine of Cups is a wish, it's a card of wishes, but it's also a card of letting go of comfort so that you can move forward. You know, the person in this card is jumping off a cliff. Sometimes you have to be brave in order to make your wishes come true. Sometimes you really have to be brave and take more action. And with the two cards of Pentacles here, this is the earth element is the slowest moving element. It's very slow. And I feel like Spirit is asking you here to pick up the pace on something. The Page of Pentacles is the student of the tarot. It's about dedication and focus and becoming rewarded for that focus. I find it interesting that we have 2 cards here of a cliff as well. So it's like you've been trying to climb this ladder, but it feels like everything you do, it's like 2 steps forward. What's the saying? 1 step forward, 2 steps backward. That's what this feels like. 1 step forward, 2 steps backwards. That's what things feel like right now for you, Taurus. But Spirit wants you to stay dedicated and grounded. Even though we've got 2 cliffs here, I feel like Spirit is encouraging you to try and stay grounded through this. It's probably really hard. I'm sure you feel like everything is just falling apart. But Spirit wants you to stay slow and steady. Everything will happen the way it needs to happen. Try to get a higher perspective on this and remember that everything is temporary. If you're going through something that's really challenging right now, or you feel like you're falling off a cliff, just remember that everything is temporary and there's a reason why what's happening is happening. You might not know it or see it at this point in time, but with the ladder here, I mean, that's a higher perspective, gaining a higher perspective. Let's get you 1 card out of the Moonology deck. Page of Pentacles, that's learning. That's learning from experience, learning from experiences, and remaining focused. Reward for your focus. Yeah, stay focused, Taurus. Stay focused, you know? Perhaps even your advice here, you know, the solar eclipse in Libra is about strengthening or finding more balance and harmony within our relationships. But this could be the relationship with yourself, Taurus. I'm definitely getting that here. We have 3 characters, solitary characters here. And I feel like Spirit is encouraging you to strengthen the relationship with yourself. Maybe stop depending, or try to stop depending on other people for your joy, happiness, and fulfillment in life. And focus on the relationship with yourself. Taurus, I know this is hard for you because your planet is Venus, the planet of love. You're constantly seeking reciprocity within relationships. But if you're doing it at your own detriment, then Spirit is saying here to strengthen the connection with yourself, strengthen your own relationship to yourself. All right, Spirit, can we get one final card for Taurus, please? Any other words of advice or wisdom for the Taurus collective, please? This one on top. All right, one final card for Taurus. Abundance. Look at that. Abundance is coming, Taurus. You know, it's funny. Right before I pulled this card, I was thinking in my mind, the Pentacles, 2 cards of Pentacles. Pentacles is earth energy, yes, but it also represents money. There might be something, you know, where you feel like you've lost a lot of money, where you've gone 2 steps backward, right? 1 step forward, 2 steps backwards. But Spirit is asking you to stay grounded, stay steady, right? Steady and grounded, and abundance is coming. Abundance is coming into the picture. Make sure that you're ready for it as well. Let's read this out of the book. Domicile Moon. Number 36. Abundance. Expect abundance, an abundance of good things in all shapes and forms. It seems you've found your place in life. You feel at home in your current situation, or even if you don't quite feel at home yet, good things are coming. With the moon as well placed as she is in this card, an abundance of loveliness must surely follow. Remember that abundance follows your frequency. When you draw this card, it suggests you've tapped into the right frequency to match whatever it is you want to achieve. An abundance of good things might include more cash coming into your life, or perhaps an abundance of love and good feelings between you and the person you love, or the people you love. If you're worried about your financial situation, this is a reminder that you have what it takes to generate the cash you want. If you're wondering about moving house, this card is almost certainly a suggestion to stay where you are for now. If you're asking about a relationship, it appears you and your beloved are actually fairly well suited. Additional meanings: take a trip home, you fit right in, it's time to express your full potential, home is where the heart is, and stay where you are. Throughout this deck, we see the moon representing our emotions. Sometimes the condition of the moon is challenging, and therefore our situation is challenging. And sometimes everything is as it should be, as with this card. Yeah. I think I think Spirit is definitely talking about money here too. An abundance of good things might include more cash coming into your life. Pentacles, Pentacles, abundance, and the wish fulfillment card. Make sure you're prepared for something like that, Taurus. Make sure you're mentally prepared for something like this to enter your experience, because you don't want to squander it. You don't want to squander the abundance. Make sure you appreciate it when it does come in, and you'll do just fine. All right, Taurus. I hope you have a beautiful new moon solar eclipse in Libra, and we'll see you in the next reading. Gemini, welcome in to your new moon solar eclipse in Libra reading. Let's get started. Spirit, we're here to get an energy reading for the sign of Gemini, please. How is this new moon solar eclipse going to be affecting the Gemini collective? And what should they be focusing on at this time in order to improve their relationships? One more shuffle. What do we have for Gemini, Spirit? Three cards for Gemini, please. The Queen of Cups. It's the most love you can pull from the deck. The Three of Wands. And the World. Gemini. Got amazing things coming in. I mean, the first card out is the Queen of Cups, which is the queen of emotion, the queen of love. She is the most love you can pull from the deck, an intense and selfless healing love. And then the next card is the Three of Wands, which is foresight, the ships coming in. Something's coming in for you, Gemini, that's going to change your world. It's going to change your whole world. It'll provide a powerful understanding, a feeling of wholeness and unity. The definition of cozy, success. Gemini, it feels like a new relationship might be coming in for you. But don't get hung up on that. Don't get stuck waiting around or fantasizing too much about it. Leave it up to the universe. But Gemini, it does feel like you have something coming in here. Something that's going to change your world and make you want to dance like a ballerina. Like on this card. This card is a funny rendition of the world. The definition of cozy and wholeness. I love on this card too, the ballerina here, her eyes are closed, but her third eye is open. You can see her third eye there. And then we've got the candle up at the top, the light of the world. If you look at this card too, the seasons are in all the corners. And we just had the equinox. Got fall here, summer here, spring, winter. Yeah, at the change of the season, the change of the season, Gemini, this might come in at the winter solstice. During the winter solstice, a relationship might be headed your way, Gemini. That's what I'm feeling. Queen of Cups here, the Queen of Love. Yeah, you might get an opportunity to really express this deep love. But take this time right now to do your shadow work. So that you're ready for this to come in. All right, Spirit, can we get one final card for the Gemini collective? What do you have to tell them about this solar eclipse? Any final words of advice or wisdom, please? What else for Gemini? Last shuffle. One final card for Gemini, please. No way. Abundance. Again, this came out for Taurus just before you. That's so crazy how my all signs readings blend together like this. It's crazy because in Taurus's reading, Taurus got a card that Aries got in the reading before, the Nine of Cups. So this is crazy. This came out in Taurus's reading, the abundance card. Abundance is coming in. There's going to be an abundance of love. I can feel it here with the Queen of Cups. It's like a wish fulfillment. Everything you desire. Let's read this one out of the book again. $36. Abundance. Expect abundance. An abundance of good things in all shapes and forms. It seems you found your place in life. You feel at home in your current situation. Or, even if you don't quite feel at home yet, good things are coming. With the moon as well placed as she is in this card, an abundance of loveliness must surely follow. Remember that abundance follows your frequency. When you draw this card, it suggests you've tapped right into the frequency to match whatever it is you want to achieve. An abundance of good things might include more cash coming into your life, or perhaps an abundance of love and good feelings between you and the person you love or the people you love. If you're worried about your financial situation, this is a reminder that you have what it takes to generate the cash you want. If you're wondering about moving house, this card is almost certainly a suggestion to stay where you are for now. If you're asking about a relationship, it appears you and your beloved are actually fairly well suited. Additional meanings: take a trip home, you fit right in, it's time to express your full potential, home is where the heart is, stay where you are. Throughout this deck, we see the moon representing our emotions. Sometimes the condition of the moon is challenging, and therefore our situation is challenging. And sometimes everything is exactly as it should be, which is the case for this card. Yeah, Gemini, it feels like you have an abundance of love coming in. Ooh la la. Well, I certainly hope that's the case for you, Gemini, whether that's an abundance of love within a new relationship or an abundance of love within one you're already in. Gemini, I hope you have a beautiful solar eclipse, and I can't wait to see you again in the next reading. Cancer, welcome into your solar eclipse in Libra reading. Let's get started. Spirit, we're here to get an energy reading for the sign of Cancer. How is this new moon solar eclipse in Libra going to be affecting the Cancer collective, and what should they be focusing on at this time in order to strengthen their relationships, improve their relationships? What should the Cancer be focusing on at this time? How is this eclipse going to be affecting them? Let's get one more shuffle. Okay, 3 cards for Cancer, please. the Queen of Pentacles, the Three of Pentacles, and the Eight of Wands. We have two cards of Pentacles here, and the Pentacles are the earth element, that stable, grounded, loyal energy. The Queen of Pentacles is the mother of the deck. She's very nurturing and compassionate. It feels like Spirit is encouraging you here to strengthen the relationship, maybe as a mother, because we've got the Three of Pentacles here, which is working, collaboration. If you look on this card, there are three childlike people down here holding up this singular structure, the singular being here. You might have three children, or this could just symbolize that you're working together with your children in harmony, finding more peace and balance and harmony within your relationships with your children. That's what this feels like here, Cancer. The Queen of Pentacles is the mother. The Three of the Pentacles is working together, collaboration. And the Eight of Wands is action, organized movement, and grounding. If you look at this card, there's a lot of action here. Look at all of the arms, movement, working together. I feel like Spirit is encouraging you to use more love within your relationships, to try and find a more stable, grounded love, like the Queen of Pentacles. She's very, very nurturing, even in the face of adversity. She's very nurturing and loving and compassionate. And I feel like with this compassion and this love, even when the kids act up and they're rowdy and you're so tired and you're just over it, Spirit is trying to encourage you here to try and stay in the Queen of Pentacles energy, the motherly, nurturing, compassionate person that you are. I know you are, Cancer. And then this collaboration, working together for a common cause. Spirit is encouraging you to make sure that you're staying loyal, loving, and grounded within your relationship with your family here, Cancer. That's what I'm feeling. That is what I'm feeling. Let's get one final card for Cancer. Yeah, you'll do that through thought too, Cancer. When the situation arises where you're being challenged, like take a step away and use Mercury to think about how you can best move forward with love and compassion. I don't have kids, Cancer, so I don't know what it's like, but I'm just trying to translate here for Spirit. All right, Spirit, can we get one final card for the Cancer Collective, please? One final card. What other words of advice or wisdom do you have for them during this solar eclipse in Libra? One last shuffle. All right, what do we have? Self-regulation. Exactly. Exalted Moon. That's a bull on there. That's Taurus energy, earth energy. Just like the Pentacles here, we've got the Queen of Pentacles, the Three of Pentacles. That's stable, grounded, earth energy. And then we've got self-regulation. I feel like that's exactly what Spirit is trying to get me to translate for them, is that you need to work on regulating your emotions, regulating your feelings, especially when you get overwhelmed. Self-regulation will offer you some peace and balance within your relationships if you can learn to self-regulate those emotions. And I feel really weird translating this for spirit because I don't have any experience in what it's like to be a parent. But take me out of the picture completely and just understand this is a message from spirit. Let's read that one out of the book. Exalted Moon. Number 40. Okay. Self-regulation. In the situation you're asking about, your superpower is that you can regulate your emotions. That doesn't mean suppress them. It means you can feel all your feelings and process them and let them move through you. You can just be. This gives you power. Remember, as within, so without. In other words, when you're filled with tumultuous, that's such a hard word. Tumultuous inner emotions, your external life is likely to reflect that. However, pulling this card suggests that no matter what you've been going through, being at peace with your feelings is the key to your success. Even if your feelings are intense, breathe through them so they don't cause outward turbulence. This is your magic. Think of yourself as a sorceress or sorcerer and stay centered now. For best results, bring compassion, empathy, and unconditional love into your current situation. You have all that you need to sort this situation out. In fact, you may even have the upper hand. However, you need to use that advantage wisely. You may need to take the emotional lead, so be a good example for others. Yeah, Spirit. Spirit wants you to be a good example for your children, and make sure you're staying in unconditional love, compassion, and empathy. At least try. I know it's hard. I'm not there either, but it's always good to work towards becoming better, right? And that's exactly what I felt up here as well. More motherly, nurturing, compassionate, and unconditional love into your current situation. Additional meanings for the card: keep your feet on the ground. Ask, what would nourish me in this situation? Emotional honesty is called for. Allow someone else to express their emotions. And slow and steady wins the race. In astrology, the moon is all about feelings and is said to be exalted or in great shape in the sign of Taurus. All right, Cancer, I hope you have a beautiful solar eclipse in Libra, and we'll see you again in the next reading. All right, Leo, let's get into your reading. Spirit, we're here to get an energy reading for the sign of Leo, please. How can the Leo Collective use this solar eclipse in Libra to help strengthen and improve their relationships, to find more harmony and balance within their relationships, please? What should the Leo Collective be focusing in on at this time? All right, 3 cards for the Leo Collective, please. The King of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles. This came out in Taurus's reading, Leo. And the Knight of Swords. Justice, light within the darkness. The King of Pentacles is very grounded, loyal, an earthy king. The King of Pentacles, that's Taurus. Taurus energy. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. He's a very nurturing king, and can provide financially as well. You might be dealing with an earth sign, but earth is the slowest moving element, Leo. It moves very slowly. It's grounded and loyal, but also moves very slowly. And then we've got the Knight of Pentacles here too, which is the slowest moving knight. And in this card, you can see a figure climbing up a ladder. You know, whoever you might be dealing with might be climbing out of a very challenging situation, might be very slowly making their way out of a very challenging situation. And you're having to be very patient about this, very patient with this. And then the Knight of Swords here, that's air, Libra energy. It's courage, justice, and light within the darkness, light in the darkest of places. You know, you might be stuck in a place of darkness right now, Leo. And if you don't already know, I am a double Leo. I have a Leo sun and a Leo moon, and I've been feeling a lot of darkness lately in my life over the last week or so. It's been really hard for me to regulate my emotions. I've been feeling, I don't want to say depressed, because depressed is a really strong word, and I don't want to make light of depression. It's a different kind of depressed. It's more of a feeling of apathy is what I've been feeling. And you might be feeling like all of the things you've wanted and desired are just taking so long to manifest. They're moving very slowly. But Spirit is saying here in order to improve your relationships with this solar eclipse, you're going to have to find the light within the darkness, which is what the solar eclipse is all about. It's finding light within the darkness. When the moon and the illusions, the chaos, and the fears cover the light of the sun, that's hard for Leo. I mean, your planet is the sun. So finding light within the darkness is what Spirit is encouraging you to do at this time. To look at the stars. You know, there would be no stars without darkness. And how sad would life be without stars? So try to find the light within the darkness right now, Leo. Everything you desire is manifesting, and Spirit is working on it behind the scenes. I promise. All right, Spirit, what else do we have for the Leo Collective? Any final words of advice or wisdom for the Leo Collective, please? Last shuffle. Okay, any final words of advice or wisdom for Leo? No way. This always happens. My all signs readings always blend together from the last sign I did, and this card came out in Cancer's reading right before you. I mean, you saw me shuffling. This always never ceases to amaze me. Taurus's reading got some of Aries cards. Gemini's reading got some of Taurus's cards. It's like the readings blend together. It's crazy. But the self-regulation card has come out again for your reading, Leo. And you can see the bull in this card. That's Taurus energy. That's earth energy. Emotional self-regulation is a challenging thing to do, to regulate yourself emotionally. It's not easy to do, but Spirit is definitely encouraging the Leo collective here to learn how to self-regulate, to regulate your emotions, find more grounded, balanced, loving, compassionate, empathetic energies within you, and then try and see if you can put that into practice when you're dealing with the world around you, which, Leo, I know it's not easy, especially when you're feeling like you're in a dark spot, in a dark patch, a dark place. But if anybody can do it, Leo can do it. Let's read this card out of the book. Exalted Moon. Number 40. Ooh. Okay. Self-regulation. In the situation you're asking about, your superpower is that you can regulate your own emotions. That doesn't mean suppress them. It means that you can feel all your feelings and process them and then move through them. You can just be. This gives you power. Remember, as within, so without. In other words, when you're filled with tumultuous inner emotions, your external life is likely to reflect that. However, pulling this card suggests that no matter what you've been going through, being at peace with your feelings is the key to success. Even if your feelings are intense, breathe through them so they don't cause outward turbulence. That is your magic. Think of yourself as a sorceress or sorcerer and stay centered now. For best results, bring compassion, empathy, and unconditional love into your current situation. You have all that you need to sort this situation out. In fact, you may even have the upper hand. However, you need to use that advantage wisely. You may need to take the emotional lead here and be a good example for others. Additional meanings for the card. Keep your feet on the ground. Ask what would nourish me in this situation. Emotional honesty is called for. Allow someone else to express their emotions. And slow and steady wins the race. In astrology, the moon is all about feelings, and it is said to be exalted or in great shape in the sign of Taurus. Yes, Leo, take a higher perspective on all of this and remember that everything is temporary. What you're going through, if it's turbulent right now, remember it's temporary. And it's there to give you a gentle nudge from the universe to teach you how to regulate your emotions a bit better. And you can do it, Leo. I know you can do it. All right, Leo, thank you so much for tuning in today. I hope you have a beautiful new moon solar eclipse in Libra, and I can't wait to see you again in the next reading. Virgo, welcome in to your new moon solar eclipse in Libra reading. Let's get started. All right, Spirit, we're here to get an energy reading for the sign of Virgo, please. How can the Virgo collective use this solar eclipse to their advantage in order to strengthen and harmonize their relationships? How can the Virgo collective use this solar eclipse to balance their relationships and improve them, please? What do you have to tell the Virgo collective? Last shuffle. Okay, 3 cards for Virgo, please. I just got the smell, like a waft of ketchup. I don't know what that means, Virgo. I didn't eat any ketchup. I haven't even eaten ketchup in I don't know how long. I don't know if you had ketchup today or recently, but I just got a waft of ketchup. That was very weird. Okay, what do we have for Virgo? The King of Cups. The King of Wands. And the Page of Swords. Interesting. The King of Cups is the most loving king in the deck, but sometimes the King of Cups has a hard time expressing his emotions. It can be a feeling of deep, deep love and emotion, but not showing it, having a hard time expressing it. So we've got the King of Cups here, which is the King of Emotion, and then we've got the King of Wands, which is the King of Passion. That's fire and water. That is a turbulent combination. But the King of Wands is very passionate and confident, very strong, strong-willed, creative. Now, either spirit is saying that this is a masculine energy in your experience that might be fire and water. Sometimes he's hot, sometimes he's cold. Sometimes he's hot, sometimes he's cold, and this can cause a lot of uncertainty in your experience. The beginning before an event. The Page of Swords. If you look at this card, there is a lineup of people getting ready to jump off of a diving board. The Page of Swords is the first of the court cards in the suit of swords. But the Page of Swords can be a very immature energy, very reckless, can act before thinking. So I think Spirit is saying here that within your relationships, you might be dealing with somebody who's hot and cold, back and forth, up and down, and Spirit might be encouraging you here to prepare for a battle, maybe an internal battle, not necessarily an external battle. But prepare to be mentally challenged, for sure. Mentally and emotionally challenged. You know, if you are dealing with a hot and cold person, a hot and cold masculine energy, prepare for this to eventually come to a head. All right, Spirit, what else do you have for the Virgo Collective? What other words of advice or wisdom do you have? Yeah, you know, with the solar eclipse, it's all about perspective too. It's about thinking how ways you can better your relationships, improve your relationships. And with Mercury there, that's air, which is the swords energy here. That's thought and communication. You know, if this, I just got the smell of ketchup again. What is that? It's so weird. But yeah, you know, perhaps Spirit is saying here that prepare your words, prepare your communication, think about what you need to say in order to express yourself with this person. All right, what else do we have for Virgo, please? One more shuffle. One final card for Virgo, please. Shadow work. Whew. Shadow work. Exactly. That's the feeling I was getting from the Page of Swords over here. Shadow work. Like, prepare for battle. Prepare yourself emotionally and spiritually for maybe a confrontation with this hot and cold king. Stay stable and grounded in your sovereignty, right? And with Lilith, feminine power, personal power. I think you're going to need that. I think you're going to need that because Virgo, I know that you are a people pleaser. You are. Sometimes you hold things in instead of expressing them because you don't want to rock the boat. You know, you keep things in the shadows instead of expressing them because you're just that type of person. You're very loving and nurturing and kind, and you just want to make everybody happy. But what about you, Virgo? What about making you happy? Okay, the night moon. 104. Shadow work. You're being asked to face your dark side. In terms of your current situation, be honest. What part of you are you ashamed of? What is triggering you right now? These are some of the questions the universe and the moon would like to ask of yourself right. Wait a second. What is triggering you right now? These are some of the questions the universe and the moon would like you to ask yourself now. We all have a shadow side, and yours needs looking at when this card comes up. Your shadow is the part of you that you fear or are ashamed of and find hard to love. Until you learn to embrace your shadow, it can get in your way, and whatever blockage you're facing now almost certainly comes from the fact that there is something you don't want to admit about yourself or to someone else. Maybe you need to confess that you're not as happy as you've been making out. Or maybe someone else needs to let you know that. Maybe you've had dark thoughts and have impeded your progress. It's all good, Virgo. Learning to love all parts of you is the key here. The outcome you're chasing now lies on the other side of your fears. Additional meanings. Accept yourself, shadow and all. See your situation through loving eyes. Release a grudge that you have against someone. Try shadow journaling for more insight into your question. And forgive yourself and love yourself. In psychology, the shadow self is a concept introduced initially by the renowned Swiss psychiatrist Carl Jung. It describes aspects of our personality that we reject and repress. And I feel like that's where you might people please, Virgo, because you're afraid of saying something that makes the other person recoil and abandon you. You might have deep wounds surrounding abandonment. But this will never lead to your happiness, Virgo. If you continue to just suppress your own feelings and emotions, then that will just lead you down a road of sadness and disappointment. Virgo, you need to stand up for yourself and express yourself in the most loving and compassionate way. The whole of you is lovable. All parts of you are lovable. And it's time for you to love those parts of yourself too. And when you do, then you'll get the courage that it takes to stand up to a wishy-washy, hot and cold king, is what I'm getting here, Virgo. All right. Thank you so much for tuning in today, Virgo. I hope you have a beautiful solar eclipse in Libra, and we'll see you again in the next reading. Libra. Welcome into your new moon solar eclipse in Libra reading. Let's get into it. Spirit, we're here to get an energy reading for the sign of Libra. How is this solar eclipse in Libra going to be affecting the Libra collective, and what should they be focusing in on at this time? What should the Libra collective be focusing in on at this time in order to improve their relationships? Oof, that card wanted to fall out. That was the devil. Toxic patterns. Addictions. All right, let's get one more shuffle, please. Three cards for Libra. The Ten of Wands. The Eight of Pentacles. And Strength. Yeah, right away, Libra, I'm definitely getting your work here. I mean, with Eight of Pentacles showing up in the middle of your reading, that's all about work. There's some kind of burden, and I think we got this in your last full-length reading too, that there's something about your work that's been stressing you out. This, you know, the solar eclipse in Libra is about relationships, deep relationships, and this could be relationships with your work, with your career, or with the people that you work with. It feels to me, Libra, that there's some kind of heavy burden that you're carrying surrounding this. But if you look at the Strength card that came out last, I mean, that's all about carrying a heavy burden, but doing it with courage, confidence, strength, gentle yet firm, overcoming destructive impulses, and the ability to do something difficult with grace. Yeah, you have what it takes here, Libra, to get through this, but I feel like Spirit is saying here that you need to be focusing on improving the relationship that you have with work. This could be internal as well, like your own internal relationship to work. You might carry a lot of resistance around what you do for a living. Dedication, stability. If you look at this card too, I love this card. This deck is really neat. It offers different perspectives of the tarot that I haven't found in very many other decks. But there is a depiction of a robot person here having their face put on. It's like you might feel monotony within your career, monotony within your career path, or maybe, you know, within your relationships at work. You might feel like you have to put on a happy face for everybody at work, but that's not how you're actually feeling. But you have what it takes, Libra. You can get through this with strength and courage, and you can do it with grace. But I think that Mercury conjuncting this solar eclipse is encouraging us all to speak our mind, to speak our truth. And this in turn will put us in a vibration of strength. I think you need to say how you feel around this. And your work could be, you could be in school as well, Libra. That's your work. Whatever you put, and you could be a stay-at-home mom. That could be your job. Whatever it is, you feel like you have to put on a happy face for it. And it's a heavy burden, a heavy load, something that you carry on your back. Too much responsibilities, right? And I feel like Spirit is encouraging you to improve your situation and improve your relationships. Express yourself. Express yourself and how you're feeling about all this. Okay. Let's get one final card from the Moonology deck for the Libra collective. All right, Spirit, any final words of advice or wisdom for the Libra collective, please? On how they can improve their relationships. This one. All right, one final card for Libra, please. Yes, Yin Moon, accept help. Exactly. This has come out in your readings recently, Libra. This one keeps coming out. I think we got it in 2 of your readings over the last 30 days. The Yin Moon, accept help. That's exactly what I've been seeing here. There's some kind of heavy burden you're carrying within your work. And the work could be whatever. It could be your parenting. Maybe you need help with parenting. Maybe you need help within your career. Whatever it is, you need help. You might feel like you have to just plow through and stay strong, which I know you can do, Libra. You're extremely capable, but you're gonna get drained. You're gonna get exhausted if you keep trying to just plow through this. Instead, I think Spirit is encouraging you here to ask for help. Ask for help and express yourself and tell people what you need. Like, people want to help you, Libra. I've said this over and over again in your reading, like in your readings. You have so many people that love and care about you. You're one of those signs that just magnetizes people to you. You have a plethora of people that love and care about you and want to help you. Whether this is in your job or within your family, anywhere, in any relationship that you might be experiencing. It could be a romantic relationship too, that you've had to work really hard at, and there's something that's burdening you. You take this how it resonates for you, but there's something you need to ask for help with that you're not. Instead, you're just carrying this heavy load, this heavy burden, and taking on more and more responsibilities. And eventually you're gonna crash, Libra. You're gonna crash and burn, if you haven't already. All right, let's read Yin Moon out of the book. 120. Accept help. Have you been trying to do everything all by yourself? This isn't the answer to your current dilemma. You need to take a softer, possibly more collaborative approach. Maybe you've been too tough on yourself or on someone else. This card comes up when the energies are harsh. Being independent is a great thing, but sometimes we just refuse other people's help for all the wrong reasons. Make sure you're not guilty of this right now. There is a sense that you need to accept someone's help here in order to get the job done, or to just get where you want to go. Maybe you just need to ask someone for their advice. Find someone who you know will have a gentle response. In the yin and yang paradigm, yin is very soft, like the moon. This isn't the time to push forward unrelentingly, but rather to see how you can soften into a solution. If you've been trying to drive something on or convince someone of something, take this card as a sign to proceed more gently. Additional meanings. Someone wants to help you. You catch more flies with honey than with vinegar. Don't be stubborn. Your ego may be in your way. Bring out your softer side. The famous yin-yang symbol describes how seemingly opposite forces may actually work together. It represents the interconnectedness of all life everywhere. Yeah, strength, I mean, that's Leo's card, and Leos are known for being a bit stubborn. Perhaps you're being a little stubborn right now too, Libra. Spirit is encouraging you to ask for help. And this will strengthen your relationships too. When you ask for help and the person that loves and cares about you helps you, it makes them feel good too. So Libra, now is the time to ask for help and maybe drop some of these burdens, some of these responsibilities. It'll make you a happier, healthier person in the long run. All right, Libra, I hope you have a beautiful solar eclipse in Libra, and we'll see you again in the next reading. Scorpio, welcome in to your new moon solar eclipse in Libra reading. Let's get into it. Spirit, we're here to get an energy reading for the sign of Scorpio, please. What kind of advice do you have for the Scorpio collective regarding this solar eclipse in Libra? How can the Scorpio collective strengthen, balance, and harmonize the relationships, please? What should they be focusing on at this time? One more shuffle. Three cards for Scorpio, please. Oof, I took two cards at once. No way, the Eight of Pentacles. This just came out in Libra's reading right before you. This always happens in my all signs readings. The sign before will bleed into the next sign. It just goes to show how we're all connected. The Five of Wands. And the Ace of Pentacles. Scorpio, you might be dealing with some conflict in your work environment. You might be experiencing some kind of butting of the heads, I would say. Now, this could be a relationship with a boss, or it could be a coworker. Some kind of work relationship, though, is suffering right now. You can see in this card there are two people smiling, arm wrestling, but behind them there's a big black shadow. You might be in denial about this situation and hiding how you actually feel, not expressing yourself with this person, and instead smiling as you cross paths in the hallway or whatever. But there's definitely a conflict. The fives are a turning point. It's like a building of energy. This building of energy is going to climax eventually, and then it'll be an explosion. But what you're seeking here, Scorpio, is a new beginning, a fresh start, a stable new beginning. You're looking for peace. You want peace within this. You do. You want peace within this relationship. But Scorpio, I know you. You'd rather just like hold it in and not say anything and hope for the best. But Scorpio, Spirit wants you to communicate how you feel. Because most people, most humans, they're not deeply intuitive. They're not mind readers. Even mind readers can't read minds all the time. We have to tell people how we feel. And with the Eight of Pentacles being the first card out, that's the card of work, dedication, stability. And if you look on this card, there's somebody having their face put on. There's like this robotic character here having their face put on by another person. You might feel like controlled by this situation. Like in a work environment, you can't always say what you feel because if you did, then you'd probably get fired. But you can communicate gently. You can communicate in a productive way. This is not encouraging you to just show up to work and like tell everybody how you felt in a bad way. No, Spirit is encouraging us to take transformation within our relationships in a positive way, in a productive way, by thinking about how we can better improve our situations, our relationships. Right? Mercury conjuncting the solar eclipse. That's thought. Think of a really great way, like maybe even write it all down, Scorpio. Like write down exactly how you feel and how you could communicate how you feel in the most productive way. And typically a really good way to communicate is to start off with positive, like, I really appreciate how you do this. I really appreciate when we do this together. I really appreciate or admire this about you. But I've been feeling this certain way about the way we do this, and I'm really hoping that we can improve or find some middle ground. You know what I'm saying? Like start off with the positives about what you do appreciate, and then go into what you wish could be better. And a new beginning is in your future. It's in your path. A stable, grounded new beginning is in your path with this, Scorpio. But I think it's going to all start with you learning how to communicate in a productive way. All right, Spirit, can we get one final card for the Scorpio collective, please? What else do we have for Scorpio? What other words of wisdom or advice do you have for the Scorpio collective? Yeah, I'm reading this Five of Wands here too. It says no clear direction on the bottom of the card. Maybe you feel kind of lost within your career as well and you're looking for a new beginning. That could be part of your story too. All right, what else do you have for Scorpio? One final card. One final card for Scorpio. Take a breath. Yeah, I feel that. I feel that for sure with the Five of Wands here. It feels very stressful, like static, like background noise. Yeah, Spirit is saying take a breath here. Take a breath. Try to bring the heightened energy down and think about how you can approach this in a productive way. Let's read that card out of the book. Take a breath. The word moonstruck sounds dreamy and gorgeous, but in fact, it means someone who's gone a little crazy. Drawing this card means that you may be becoming obsessive or just going too far with regards to whatever situation it is you're asking about. It's like somebody who says they're madly in love. Madly? Is that really a good idea? This card comes with a message to get your feet back on the ground. If you've been a little bit hysterical or histrionic, it's time to pare that back as well. Take a couple of deep breaths. Try to get your situation into perspective. There's nothing to be gained by allowing yourself to be completely and utterly overwhelmed by your emotions. Think of the cycles of the moon. The moon takes a full fortnight to move from new to full. She grows a little in size every day as she swells to her beautiful full self. So when you draw this card, you too need to allow things to progress at a more appropriate pace. Additional meanings: slow down, being manic won't help, breathe, drop the drama, give a situation time to unfold. Moonstruck often refers to falling so crazily in love that you can't think straight. It sounds lovely in practice and looks great in the movies, but is a little bit harder to handle in real life. Yeah, Scorpio. Make sure you're calm when you approach this situation, when you try to resolve this conflict that you're finding yourself in. Make sure that you come calm and prepared to maybe have your buttons pushed a little bit. All right, Scorpio, I hope you have a beautiful solar eclipse in Libra, and we'll see you again in the next reading. Sagittarius. Welcome in to your new moon solar eclipse in Libra reading. Let's get started. Spirit, we're here to get an energy reading for the sign of Sagittarius, please. How is this solar eclipse going to be affecting the Sagittarius collective? And what should they be focusing in on at this time in order to improve their relationships, please? What does the Sagittarius need to be focusing in on at this time, please? What do we have for Sagittarius, please? Let's get one more shuffle. Three cards for Sagittarius, please. The Queen of Cups. That was the first card that came out for Gemini, Sagittarius. Two of Swords. And the Magician. Wow. Sagittarius, you might feel like you're being pulled. Like, I'm getting the sense of a tug-of-war kind of feeling. Like your heart might feel like it's being pulled in two different directions. The Two of Swords here. So we've got the Queen of Cups is the first card, which is deep love. It's the most love you can pull out of the tarot. Deep, intense, selfless, healing love. But it's like painful though. It's painful. She's holding her heart and there's black goo coming out. And then we've got the Two of Swords here, which is like an impasse. But in this deck, the depictions are quite a bit different. And I'm getting a sense of being pulled in two different directions. Like a tug of war, like almost like you're not sure which way to go. Like you're given two paths, like a fork in the road, and you're not sure which path to take. That's the feeling that I'm getting here. But then the last card we get is the Magician, which is confidence, creativity, communication, skillful. The Magician has access to all four elements. And the Magician is the second card in the tarot. And we've got the Two of Swords here. So that's another 2 energy. That's a decision, a fork in the road. The Magician also is really good at creating illusion. And there may be some kind of illusion in your experience right now, making it difficult for you to make a decision about something. But Sagittarius, Spirit is encouraging you right now to maybe go silent and do some meditation and some introspection, and then you'll know what to do. You know, I asked Spirit, how is this solar eclipse going to be affecting the Sagittarius collective? And what do they need to be focusing on at this time in order to improve their relationships? And this could mean that there is a relationship where you're having a hard time deciding on whether to stay or go. To keep investing in something or surrender it. See, I'm even getting the sense of like confusion or like a blockage almost. Some kind of block, some kind of confusion. Like overwhelmed feeling, 7 of Cups kind of energy. Like unable to make a move, overwhelmed with decision to the point where you can't make one. Spirit, what else do you have to tell the Sagittarius collective about this? What other words of advice or wisdom do you have for the Sagittarius collective here? Yeah, you know, part of the solar eclipse energy was connecting, or the conjunction with the South Node. And yeah, so the solar eclipse is going to conjunct the South Node, and the South Node is all about the past. And then the Mars square in Cancer is being challenged to change. It's having a difficult time making a decision or changing. And the conjunct the South Node is learning how to release the past, because a new moon is about a new beginning, and a solar eclipse is a supercharged new beginning. So there might be you might feel challenged right now on whether to keep investing in something or surrender the past and move on, move forward. I'm just reading some of my notes here. It says, conjunct South Node, releasing of the past and noticing where we've been stuck, reminiscing on past lessons, and then purging what is no longer serving us for our greatest and highest good. And that's kind of the feeling I'm getting here, is it feels like Spirit is encouraging you to maybe not continue investing in something. I don't know. Let's get one more card. As always, Sagittarius, use your own intuition. Use your own intuition. This is a collective reading. Collective. Remember that. So you take what fits for you, what makes sense for you within your own intuition. All right, Spirit, what else do you have for the Sagittarius collective that this resonates with, please? Any other words of advice or wisdom for the Sagittarius collective that this story belongs to, please? Let's get one more shuffle. That one on top. Okay, one final card for the Sagittarius collective. Drawing down the moon. Knowledge. Knowledge. That feels like magician. Access to all 4 elements. The magician is extremely knowledgeable and understands how the elements works. The elements work. And then using them to their advantage. I don't think I showed you these cards, did I? Let me show you. So we've got the 2 of Swords here. And you can see there's like a person stuck in between 2 chunks of earth. It almost looks like they're trying to hold each side of the earth up too. This feels like pressure. It feels like confusion and pressure. And then here's the magician. This is kind of a scary rendition of the magician. Like that face is a little creepy, huh? It almost looks malicious. Like manipulation. Okay, let's read Drawing Down the Moon. Knowledge. $38. Knowledge. There are some things we know because we learned them the old-fashioned traditional way. And there are some things we know because we intuit them instinctively and on an energetic level. Drawing this card suggests that you're wiser than you know, but that to answer your question, you will need sacred knowledge that can't be found in a book or online. You are therefore advised to go within and call the goddess to you. Exactly. Like, use your own intuition, Sagittarius. You are so intuitive and you're wise beyond what you even understand, what you can even comprehend. You are so wise. You sit in the 9th house on the zodiac wheel. That's the guru, a spiritual expansion and self-realization. Sagittarius, you have everything that you need within you, which is definitely the magician energy. You know which direction you need to go. Don't question yourself. You know. It says, you are therefore advised to go within and call the goddess to you. Channel her thoughts and then journal about your experience. If you have a favorite goddess you like to work with, call her in. Alternatively, explore which goddess appeals to you and call her in by asking her to come to you in meditation. Or simply close your eyes and ask, which goddess wants to come to me? However you do this process, ask the goddess to transmute the information you need. Whenever this card appears, it's also a reminder to stay on track with your moon practices. Set intentions at the new moon. Set intentions at the new moon and release them to the divine at the full moon. Additional meanings for this card. The goddess is within you. Embody your own spirituality. You don't yet have all the answers you need. Step into your wisdom and let the moon be your guide. The practice of drawing down the moon is said to date back to the 2nd century BCE. It involves calling goddess energy into your body via the moon and asking her to speak through you. Yeah, Sagittarius, you know exactly what you need to do. You're incredibly intuitive. And I feel like right now you're in a state of confusion because you're questioning your own intuition. I feel like you already know what it is you need to do, Sagittarius. And I send you all the love in the world. All right, I hope you have a beautiful new moon solar eclipse in Libra. And we'll see you again in the next reading. Capricorn. let's get into your reading. Spirit, we're here to get an energy reading for the sign of Capricorn regarding the new moon solar eclipse in Libra, please. How can the Capricorn collective use this solar eclipse to their advantage to improve their relationships, please? What should the Capricorn collective be focusing in on at this time? What do we have for Capricorn, Spirit? Last shuffle. All right, 3 cards for Capricorn, please. The 6 of Pentacles. Yeah, you know, it's really weird. Before, when I was setting up my table today and pre-shuffling my cards and cleansing the area and everything, this card kept popping up in my mind over and over again. Not this particular card, but the 6 of Pentacles from the Rider-Waite deck kept showing up in my mind. And here it is for the Capricorn reading. And the 9 of Cups. This is the 3rd time that this card has come out in this all signs reading. It came out in Aries reading. And I believe it came out in Virgo's reading. The Devil. Ooh, that's you, Capricorn. That's your card, baby. Capricorn. I feel like you've been sitting in fantasy a little too much lately. With the 6 of Pentacles here, I mean, that's an energy of giving. It's giving. So giving to a wish fulfillment. Giving to a wish fulfillment. But then we've got the Devil here, which is your card. But the Devil is unhealthy or toxic cycles, attachments, behaviors. I feel like you've been sitting in fantasy a little bit too much lately, Capricorn, and Spirit is telling you to loosen up on that a bit. That you may need to be backing off these fantasies here. If you look at these 2 cards, the 6 of Pentacles here has a figure laying down with their arm up. It looks very dreamy. Very dreamy indeed. And then this card has a person jumping off of a cliff. That's a lot of courage. It's a lot of letting go, being pushed off a cliff. It's dreamy falling, like falling in love, falling, a falling feeling. Deeper pleasure. The 9 of Cups too, in imbalance, can be overindulgence, right? This could be overindulgence in a substance as well. The 9 of Cups is sometimes read as the card of party. Too much party. So perhaps, Capricorn, either you're giving too much energy to a fantasy, a wish that you may have, or you've been giving too much energy to party with the Devil and the 9 of Cups here. Let's get another card. Yeah, perhaps this fantasy is actually affecting your relationships. Maybe with the fantasy, you fantasize about how things would be perfect if, but that can be a problem because then you are in resistance to what is, and you set way too high of a bar for the people in your life. And this kind of feels like that. It might be that you're setting too high of a bar for the people in your life, Capricorn. Either that, or you've been partying too much and Spirit is saying this is affecting your relationships. All right, what else do we have for the Capricorn collective, please? Spirit, any final words of advice or wisdom for the Capricorn collective regarding this solar eclipse, please? One more shuffle. This one on top. Okay, one final card for the Capricorn collective out of this deck, please. Take a breath. This came out for Scorpio. Yeah, take a breath. Spirit wants you to back off of whatever it is, whether this is overindulgence in a fantasy or overindulgence in a substance. Whatever it is, Spirit wants you to take a break from it and take a deep breath and back off a little. Okay, let's read this one out of the book. Moonstruck. Yeah. Now I'm remembering. Moonstruck. That can be like madly in love, right? Madly in love. You may be fantasizing about this perfect love, you know, that you are trying to manifest into your life. But don't let the fantasy, overcome you to the point where you dismiss certain people or set the bar too high, right? Okay, here we go. Moonstruck. Take a breath. The word moonstruck sounds dreamy and gorgeous, but in fact, it means someone who's gone a little crazy. Drawing this card means that you may be becoming obsessive. We've got the devil here. That you may be becoming obsessive or just going too far with regards to whatever situation it is you're talking about. It's like someone who says they're madly in love. Madly? Is that really a good idea? This card comes with a message to get your feet back on the ground. If you've been a little bit hysterical or histrionic, it's time to pare that back as well. Take a couple of deep breaths. Try to get your situation into perspective. There's nothing to be gained by allowing yourself to be completely and utterly overwhelmed by your emotions. Think of the cycles of the moon. The moon takes a full fortnight to move from new to full. She grows a little in size every day as she swells to her beautiful full self. So when you draw this card, you too need to allow things to progress at a more appropriate pace. Additional meanings for this card: slow down, being manic won't help, breathe, drop the drama, and give a situation time to unfold. Moonstruck often refers to falling so crazily in love. Falling. Remember I said falling. And look, we've got a person on here falling off of a cliff. Moonstruck often refers to falling so crazily in love that you just can't think straight. It sounds lovely in practice and looks great in the movies, but is a little bit harder to handle in real life. Capricorn. Whew. Might be. Is there somebody new in your life that you are feeling madly in love with, darling? Spirit says slow down, slow down. And if you're caught up in a crazy fantasy, that it might be time to back off of that fantasy a little bit and just sprinkle a bit of reason in there. Just sprinkle a bit of reality and logic in there, Capricorn. All right, Capricorn, I hope you have a beautiful solar eclipse in Libra, and I cannot wait to see you again in the next reading. Aquarius, welcome in to your solar eclipse in Libra reading. Let's get started. Spirit, we're here to get an energy reading for the sign of Aquarius, please, regarding the new moon solar eclipse in Libra. What should the Aquarius collective be focusing in on at this time in order to improve their relationships? What should the Aquarius be focusing in on at this time, please? What do we have for the Aquarius collective? Yes. 3 cards for Aquarius, please. The Knight of Swords. This came out for Leo. The Hanged Man. And the 4 of Cups. Now, in this deck, the Knight of Swords, one of the definitions of this card is seeing the light within the darkness. And you can see on this card, there's a figure here where their eyes are closed, but they're absorbing light within the darkness. I love that in this deck too, the 4 of Swords is actually holding the scales, which is Libra's symbol. And the swords are the air element, of course. So that's some Libra energy right there. You know, for Leo's reading, it was clear that the Leo collective might be going through a darker period in their life, a period of uncertainty and maybe even just a little bit of apathy or depression. And you might be feeling this as well. You know, Aquarius, you're a very intellectual person. Aquariuses are very... They can get wrapped up in their thoughts pretty easily. And sometimes you go in circles to the point of exhaustion. And I think you might be here, you might have been at this point of exhaustion in your experience recently. But with the Hanged Man coming next, that's pausing. That's taking a break, stepping back, seeing things from a new perspective. Suspension, revelation. Yeah, it's like you're seeing this darkness a little bit differently. And you're seeing where maybe you might have rejected the darkness as something unwanted, and now you're looking at the darkness in a different way, in a different light. You might have rejected opportunities because it might have seemed too challenging, too difficult. Yeah, you might have missed certain opportunities while you were in this darkness, and now you're looking at this differently. But I feel like what Spirit is saying here is that you might feel like you have missed out on opportunities, but you really haven't. I feel like if it's meant for you, that door will reopen. And now with a different perspective, you'll be able to actually understand what it is that Spirit's trying to, the kind of path that Spirit is trying to open up for you. There's, you know, always a reason why if something doesn't work out, there's a reason for that. But Spirit, when it's something that's meant for you, Spirit will create a new scenario that's almost identical. It might not look the same from our human perspective, but from a spiritual perspective, it is the same. And I feel like Spirit sees that you're taking on new perspectives and you're looking at things differently. And Spirit sees this and is going to open a new doorway for you. Open a new door that will take you down the same road spiritually as if you would have taken the opportunity in the past. Do you understand what I'm saying? I hope I'm making sense. It's like Spirit, the route that you needed to go, it wasn't the right time, but now it's starting to be the right time. And Spirit's going to open that door when it's meant to be opened. All right. Spirit, what else do you have for the Aquarius collective regarding this solar eclipse in Libra? Improving our relationships. Yeah, you know, Aquarius, you are such a smart person. You're so smart, but I feel like one of Aquarius's downsides is setting the bar too high for people, setting the standards too high for certain people. And I feel like you're changing this about yourself now, and Spirit is going to reward that for sure. But that's definitely where the whole relationship theme, I feel, comes into play. And I really feel like old wounds have prevented you from maybe allowing people into your energy. Old wounds. And that's definitely the feeling of Mars in Cancer squared the solar eclipse. Old wounds. Childhood traumas. Stuff like that. Alright, Spirit, can I get one final card for the Aquarius collective, please? One final card. What other words of advice or wisdom do you have for the Aquarius collective? One more shuffle. Aquarius, look what came out in the base reading for you. This is going to be big. This Pluto entering Aquarius is going to be big. The next 20 years of your life is going to shift so much. I can only imagine. And how cool is that you get to experience this in your lifetime? Like me as a Leo, I'll never experience Pluto in my sign. I'll be dead by then. And Pluto, even though it's scary, it is big time transformation. Big time transformation. So I'm super excited for the Aquarius collective. I think it's going to be a huge shift in your experience. A huge shift. You know, some things are going to die and wilt and fall away, but it'll create a slate, a new slate, a clean slate, new beginnings. New beginnings in your life. All right, last shuffle. Let's get one final card for the Aquarius collective. Any final words of advice or wisdom for the Aquarius collective, please? slow it down. That's more Hanged Man energy. The Hanged Man is all about a pause, suspension. And then we've got Moonstone. Slow it down. Clearly, you're supposed to be in a pause right now. You're supposed to be in a pause so that you can reflect on things, reflect on where you've come from and where you're going. Yeah, you're exactly where you need to be. In a pause. Suspended. Okay, Moonstone. Slow it down. I need 6. The heart wants what the heart wants, and it wants it when it wants it. But the timing isn't always right. Maybe you want something before the other person is ready for it, or vice versa. But the timing isn't always right. That's what I was talking about. That was the feeling I was getting with the Four of Cups. Sometimes I have a really hard time putting my feelings, my intuition into words. I'm working on it. But that's exactly what I got with the Four of Cups here. It's like the timing wasn't right for that. It was maybe a missed opportunity, or what seemed like a missed opportunity, but it really wasn't. Spirit's going to represent that opportunity again for you. I feel it. But the timing isn't always right. Maybe you want something before the other person is ready for it, or vice versa. Suffice it to say, you may need to slow things down. This isn't just about patience. It's about actively slowing down. Stop pushing too hard. Be strong and shine your light. Focus on what you want and not on what you don't want. You're stronger than you know. The situation you're asking about is fertile. Be graceful as you wait, without trying to force anything on anyone. Without trying to force anything or anyone. Trying to rush a person in or a situation isn't likely to work out for you right now, so do what you can to take a step back. You might like to hold a moonstone while you meditate now to help you stay patient and allow events to unfold. This is a sublimely feminine stone that has strong associations with the moon. Explore your goddess energy. Stay strong and centered in your own power instead of dissipating your energy focusing on what you can't control. I'm just going to read that again because I was stuttering. I'm stuttering a lot today. I don't know what's going on with me. This is a sublimely feminine stone that has strong associations with the moon. Explore your goddess energy. Stay strong and centered in your own personal power instead of dissipating your energy, focusing on what you can't control. Additional meanings for this card: pregnancy or birth, love is coming into your life, talk to a female mentor, calm down, breathe out, and relax. Moonstone is a truly luminous crystal. It's strong and it knows that all things come to those who wait. Yeah, Aquarius, the timing just wasn't right. The timing just wasn't right. But I feel that it will be right. And when it is, Spirit's going to open that door. And you'll know exactly when that door is open. And you should walk through. All right, Aquarius, I hope you have a beautiful new moon solar eclipse in Libra, and we'll see you again in the next reading. Pisces, let's get into your reading. Spirit, we're here to get an energy reading for the Pisces collective regarding the new moon solar eclipse in Libra. What do you have to tell the Pisces collective regarding this solar eclipse? What should they be focusing in on at this time? What should the Pisces collective be focusing in on at this time regarding the solar eclipse in Libra? Let's get one more shuffle. All right, 3 cards for the Pisces collective, please. Page of Swords. There it is again. I think this is the 3rd time it's popped out in the All Signs reading. Page of Cups. And Death. Wow. Pisces. It feels a little bit, it feels to me here like you're trying to build up the courage to apologize to somebody about something. It feels like the Page of Swords is, I mean, we've got 2 pages here too, and pages are more of an immature court card. They're the youngest of all the court cards. And the Page of Swords is the beginning of a battle, the beginning before an event, right? The Page of Swords prepares all of the weapons and the armor for the knights, you know? The page prepares for a confrontation. And then the Page of Cups is a very dreamy and lovey-dovey page, and usually can symbolize an apology as well. The interesting thing too about the Page of Cups is that in the traditional Rider-Waite, the page is holding a cup with a fish coming out of it. And of course, your symbol is the fish, Pisces. And then we've got the Death card here, which is an ending. But the Death card also leads to a new beginning. The end, a release, a change. It feels to me here, Pisces, that you might have had some kind of confrontation with somebody in your life. A relationship. You might have had some kind of confrontation, and you feel like you need to come in with an apology. You feel like maybe you were a little harsh with someone, and you know, you want to express yourself emotionally to this person. And Spirit is definitely encouraging that with the Death card here. Because if you come in with this apology, a heartfelt apology, it'll be received really well. It really will. And there'll be an ending to a conflict. That's what I'm feeling. That's what I'm getting here, Pisces. All right, let's get one more card for the Pisces collective. What other words of advice or wisdom do you have for the Pisces collective that this story belongs to, Spirit? What else do you have for Pisces? All right, one more shuffle. Can I get one final card for the Pisces collective, please? Take the lead. Yes, exactly. Pisces, Spirit is encouraging you to take the lead here. To take the lead and apologize. You might have been simmering on this for a while, and your ego might be keeping you from actually taking the lead on this. You know, when we apologize, sometimes it can be hard because you feel like, well, I wasn't totally in the wrong. I mean, it takes two to tango, right? It takes an equal contribution of shittiness to make an argument, right? But Spirit is encouraging you to take the lead on this and make the first move. And everything is going to work out absolutely beautifully. There'll be an ending to this conflict. Okay. The Moon's wisdom, take the lead. Let's read it out of the book. Sometimes you just need to stand up for yourself. And this is one of those times. The sad truth is that in your current situation, if you continue to act like an Injuan or someone who feels less than, there are certain people who will exploit their power or authority over you. They do this because they have their own insecurities and they're trying to make themselves feel more powerful. So what do? You need to take the lead here to show the world that you're in control of yourself and whatever is happening around you. Step up and take authority. Be the boss. What do you need to do to turn this situation around in your favor? Do that. If you feel that there's nothing you can do, then you're not trying hard enough. If you can't take practical steps, work on the situation energetically instead. Do this via meditating and seeing what your higher self tells you. And that's interesting that it says do that via meditating, because on this card, the Page of Cups, one of the definitions down at the bottom is meditation, which is an interesting description of the Page of Cups, but it says it right there. So it says, do this via meditating and seeing what your higher self tells you, creating a vision board, or creatively visualizing the outcome you seek. Believe in you. Additional meanings for the card. You've got this. You're wiser than you know. Stop putting yourself down. Connect with the wise goddess Saraswati and make a wise choice. Connecting with the moon can bring wisdom. That's why women in particular, and some very magical men, have worked with the moon for millennia. Yeah, take the lead. Be confident in yourself. And stand up for yourself. Express yourself, and how I was saying it takes two to make an argument. Like, both people have to put in their own amount of shittiness to make an argument continue. If an argument begins and one person just walks away and says, I'm going for a walk, I'm not gonna do this, then you exempt yourself. But if you didn't do that, you're part of the problem too. So this here, though, is definitely talking about taking the lead on this apology and standing up for yourself and speaking your mind on what hurt you. People get angry because they're hurt. Anger comes from either sadness or powerlessness. And, you might have experienced a little bit of both. And Spirit is definitely encouraging you here to stand up for yourself and express what made you sad or made you feel powerless. And this in turn will improve your relationships. All right, Pisces, I hope you have a beautiful new moon solar eclipse in Libra, and we'll see you in the next reading.